Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about what happens when we have Saturn placed in the 5th house in your birth chart, so in your D1 birth chart. Now, I am a Vedic astrologer, not a Western astrologer. However, these principles and concepts can still work if you're using Western astrology. Just use an equal house system and you'll be good. Alright. So I'm a Vedic astrologer, like I said, so I do offer Vedic astrology readings. I have my astrology certification courses, I have Vedic astrology readings. I do my standard reading that I do for everybody that gets a reading, consultation, and I do readings where I go into depth analyzing your career and your relationships and things like that. So that's another thing that I offer. And then we have birth time rectification. So that's another service that I offer. And that is for people who don't know their birth time or don't have an accurate birth time. And I will say down to the minute is accurate. Anything in the 5-minute range, 10-minute range is inaccurate. So you want it pinpointed down to the minute. So that's what I do. Alright, so let's see. So let's get into the video. So Saturn in the 5th house. So in this, so for this video we need to understand what Saturn means. And then we'll talk about what the 5th house means, put them together, and create our own analysis from that. Alright, so what is Saturn? We need to understand what Saturn is. So what is Saturn? Saturn is judgment. He is the judge, he is the boss, he is the lawyer. He is Saturn placement has a lot to do with karma or unfulfilled karma, so that's another thing. Saturn is all about structure, discipline, organization, time management. He is the boss, the strict disciplinarian boss that says, you're not going to get out of work on Friday until 5. And not a minute before 5. And because that's what he paid you for, right? So this is all about discipline, structure, organization, things like that. So, let's see. So Saturn is a slow-moving planet, so he does things very slowly, and he typically will ruin your life in the first half of your life so that the second half can be better. Now, that just means that he's going to have a more strong effect until you're 35. Between the ages of 35 and 41 or 2, he will begin to release his grasp on you. Alright? So he will free you from that karmic attachment, that karmic debt. So yeah, and then let's talk about what the 5th house means. So the 5th house is the house of fun, joy, creativity, expression, playfulness, children, having children, making children. So the 5th house is all about, children, having playfulness, having sex, things like that. all kinds of stuff like that. And it's all about creative expression. It's also your education. So, if you have Saturn in the 5th house, you are probably not going to graduate on time, or you're going to, take a while to get your full education. So you might, I know I did this. I went back to college when I was like 28, and that's because Saturn had a effect on my 5th house. Anyway, or is it 9th? I don't know. Anyway, 5th and 9th houses are houses of education. So yeah, so Saturn will make you a lifetime learner. He will, he'll make you struggle to learn at first, especially at first. Your education can suffer. However, if you're in grade school, but then, however, later in life, you'll go back to college or have this new passion and joy and love for learning. So you might, go back in life. You might go back to school later in life and get your PhD or master's or something like that. So that's another thing that can happen with this placement. Saturn is the boss. So yes, he does give you struggles, but he makes you an authority figure later in life. So he'll make you struggle for that until you become the master of it, and then he will reward you later in life. He'll give all these amazing blessings to you later in life because you went through that struggle and learned that lesson. So Saturn is all about lessons. He wants to make sure you learn lessons, and wherever he's placed, he's bound to do that. So let's see, I need a drink. So, 5th house is also fun. It's sex, it's fun, it's children, it's creativity, creative expression, and things like that. And so we have the unfun planet in the house of fun. So this means that you will not have had as much fun in childhood as it should have been. Maybe you could have been working from a very early age with this placement. You could have been, instead of having fun with your friends, playing, enjoying life as a little kid, you could have been put into a sweatshop or something like that, where it's not fun. So or you could have in some cases, instead of having fun, your parents are very disciplined, and you focus on your schoolwork before you can have fun, right? So there's that. So yeah, it's so Saturn in the 5th house, this really takes away a lot of fun. It's not fun. It's hard work. hard work in the house of fun, house of like fun and creativity. This also means that you may have a hard time being creative. You may have a hard time expressing your creativity, and your joy and fun and things like that. So that might be hard to do. You might not have a great imagination. It might be more serious. It might be more like goal-oriented, business-oriented, things like that. And so, you know, instead of you learning and going to school for because you enjoy it and you want to have a career that you enjoy, you would rather go to school and learn to just get straight A's. You would like be one of those people who is obsessed on your grades and things like that. So yeah. So you might have had more fun with your grandparents as opposed to your parents. So your parents may have been very strict and disciplinarians, but your grandparents may have been just fun-loving, and so there's the possibility to have fun, with your grandparents and love being around your grandparents and stuff. That may or may not be the case for everybody. But yeah, so this placement also means that there's going to be, well, I shouldn't say there's going to be, there could be a possibility of having your children later in life, or like a delay in having children. So instead of having children like in your 20s or 30s, you'd have them later in life. And this can be especially challenging if it's a woman's placement. Men can have children well into their 80s and 90s, without it being a problem. But women, on the other hand, have this thing called a biological clock. So you might have children towards the end of that biological clock with this placement. This also means commitment. So, you might be one of those people who is very strict with their children. And yeah. And that's okay. You can be strict with your children. Just remember, you gotta make them feel loved. Like, that's the most important thing. Make them feel loved, make them feel cared for. This is not a parenting seminar, but, that speaking from experience, like, that's the one major piece that was missing in my childhood. Like, I felt like, all my mom really cared about was me living up to expectations and stuff like that. So make sure your children feel loved. Alright. Let's see how we are on time. And we are good. Like overtime. Like way overtime. So I'm gonna end it there. So thank you guys for watching. Saturn is making me go overtime for you, so alright, so first of all, we have the Astrology Certification course. That is for people who want to have a career as a Vedic astrologer. Maybe you want to have a career as a Vedic astrologer, but you just don't know how. Okay, well, this is simple. just get the certification course, take the certification exam, and once you've completed that and passed the exam, then I will give you your own website to become a Vedic astrologer. And so you can actually, become an astrologer and have your own business. And the great thing about that is you can take your business as far as you want to. You can make it just a thing for side income, or you can make a whole career out of it. You can expand upon the knowledge that I teach you up here and make your own thing. It's unlimited potential. So, alright, then we have the Vedic astrology readings, where I focus on your career, your relationships, and if you just want a basic reading from me, I do offer my standard reading to every client. Alright, then we have the birth time rectification, so that's great. So birth time rectification is great if you don't know your birth time and you need to know it because you need to have an accurate astrology chart. So, your ascendant can change like very quickly. So especially in the D9 in the other charts, that ascendant can change very quickly. So it's very important that you get the birth time down to the minute. So it's very important that you do that. Alrighty, so then we have, so if you want that, go to GeboTheShaman.com and get a birth time rectification. Next we have the Qigong exercises, the Qigong courses. So just like the astrology certification course, that is a video course that you do at your own pace, and these are video courses that you do at your own pace. Alright, so you can get my Qigong courses. This one is called Cosmic Qigong, and then Self-Transformation Challenge. This one is especially great because it combines Kundalini Yoga, Qigong, and meditation, and the new energy. This hasn't been taught really before publicly. It's been very private, very secret, but it is the heart center energy, the Shen energy. And once you tap into that energy, you release all these feelings, and it's just so freeing and liberating and amazing. So can't speak more highly of that. Anyway, guys, you can see everything that I have there listed, and if you're curious about anything that's there, you can go down to GeboTheShaman.com and click that link and check that out. And I have, descriptions on all of this stuff, so just go check it out. Alright, so that's it for me, guys. So if you would like, share, subscribe, really helps the channel, and we will talk to you next time. Peace.